A $60 Kirkland Cashmere Crewneck contains the same Inner Mongolia goat fiber as the $400 Ralph Lauren version. 5 Costco items beat them all at 1/10 the price. The audience already knows. This isn't theory. This is what mature buyers already discovered in the comments on our last Goldmines breakdown at 655,000 views. A Wisconsin rancher writing that his Kirkland jeans had outlasted 5 pairs of Levi's. 70-year-old men describing closets stocked from Costco for a decade. The rest of America still pays $200 at the mall for what Costco sells for $20. The men who figured it out first are not poor, they are accurate. A $60 Kirkland Signature Cashmere Crewneck sits on a warehouse club table next to dog food and tires. 100% Inner Mongolia cashmere on the label. Two-ply construction on the higher SKUs in the lineup. The fiber is Capra hircus laniger. The same goat, the same plateau, the same cold winters that produce the fine underdown defining real cashmere. Cashmere is not the goat's coat. It is the underdown grown beneath the outer guard hair during the coldest months of the year. The animal is combed by hand each spring. Each goat yields approximately 100 to 200 grams of usable fiber per year. The premium grades measure under 16 microns in fineness with staple length above 36 millimeters. The fiber budget per sweater is the cost floor. The marketing budget is the cost ceiling. Inner Mongolia processes the majority of global cashmere through a concentrated number of operations: Erdos, Baotou, Hohhot. The fiber-reaching Italian knitting houses is frequently sourced from comparable Mongolian operations as the Kirkland supplier. That is the part the boutique does not discuss. A Ralph Lauren mainline cashmere crewneck retails at $400 in 2026. A J.Crew Italian cashmere sits at $198 to $228. Both use Inner Mongolia fiber on most production runs. Both market the knitting house. Neither markets the goat. The Kirkland version puts the goat on the label and leaves the knitting house in the warehouse. The ply construction is the part to read. Single ply pills faster. Two-ply holds the hand through a decade of wash cycles. The Kirkland higher SKUs publish two-ply on the better lines. The cuff and neckline finishing on premium brands has more careful hand detail. The fiber input matches at the molecular level. Cashmere care is the part that determines the wear curve. Hand wash cold, lay flat to dry. A cashmere sweater treated this way holds the original hand for 10 to 15 winters. The $100 cashmere price was the baseline for decades. The $400 price is a recent decade addition driven by boutique infrastructure rather than fiber cost increases. Erdos in Inner Mongolia processes approximately 1/3 of global cashmere through a small number of integrated operations. The fiber leaves Inner Mongolia as either combed top or spun yarn. Some heads to Italian knitting houses. Some heads to the Kirkland supplier chain. Same goat, same plateau. Different knitting tension at the final step. Cost per wear math sits at the cuff. $60 worn 5 winters across roughly 200 days equals 30 cents per wear. $400 worn the same 5 winters equals $2 per wear. The wealthy man in Wisconsin who buys Kirkland is not skipping cashmere. He is skipping the patch. The fiber is genuine. The price tag is the math. In 1995, Costco introduced the Kirkland Signature private label and started cutting through the wholesale distribution model that builds mall brand markup. The Kirkland Pima cotton polo is the result of that merchant approach. $13 to $18 at the warehouse in 2026. 100% Peruvian Pima long staple cotton. Staple length 34 to 36 millimeters. Made in Peru on most production runs. No pony, no crocodile, no badge, just the cotton. The staple length is the part the boutique does not advertise on the price tag. Pima sits in the same long staple category as Egyptian Giza and American Supima. The Peruvian Pima industry has been producing long staple cotton for decades. The northern coastal valleys of Piura and Lambayeque grow the fiber under conditions that match what made Sea Island and Egyptian cotton famous. The Instituto Peruano del Algodón maintains the fiber standards and varietal improvement programs across the producing regions. Long staple means fewer fiber ends per square inch of fabric. Fewer fiber ends mean a smoother surface, slower pilling, and a hand that holds through wash cycles. Shorter fibers shed and ball. A Pima polo washed 30 times still has a smooth surface. A commodity cotton blend polo at the same wash count has pilled across the shoulders. The elastane that mall brands spin into the polo yarn is petroleum. The stretch comes from a synthetic fiber the cotton would not have needed if the staple length had been respected. A polo Ralph Lauren mainline polo retails at $90 to $125 in 2026. Cotton elastane blend on most current SKUs. A Lacoste mainline polo runs $98. Cotton elastane on most production runs. A Hugo Boss mainline polo sits at $155. Cotton elastane on the comparable SKUs. The Kirkland Pima at $15 is 100% long staple cotton. The mall is selling the blend. The warehouse is selling the cotton. The math runs straight. $125 at polo equals 8 Kirkland Pima polos at $15 apiece. 8 polos rotated across the week wear less than 1 polo carrying the full duty cycle. The Kirkland Pima ships in 12 to 16 colors per season. Standard menswear palette: navy, white, black, pale blue, sage, burgundy. The color depth on rope-dyed long staple cotton holds across wash cycles where surface-dyed commodity cotton fades unevenly. The Costco merchant model operates on direct contracts with vetted manufacturers. The markup chain compresses. The fiber budget stays the budget. 200 wears at $15 equals 8 cents per wear. 200 wears at $125 equals 63 cents per wear. Same wear, different boutique. The cotton does not know which logo it sits beneath. A $25 Kirkland signature Oxford button-down sits on the same rack as the cashmere. The fabric is woven Oxford cloth. Cotton on the better SKUs. Button-down collar in the traditional configuration. Single needle stitching at the side seams on the higher lines. Oxford cloth is a basket weave fabric. 2 threads cross over 2 threads. The construction creates the slight texture that distinguishes Oxford from poplin. The American button-down dress shirt was introduced by Brooks Brothers in 1900. John Brooks had observed the pinned-down collars of polo players on a trip to England in 1896 and brought the idea home. The standard ran for most of the 20th century. Heavy Oxford cloth, 2-ply yarn, unfused collar. The construction matches what mall Oxford brands published 20 years ago and quietly stopped publishing as the price climbed. J.Crew launched the Ludlow line in 2008 as a premium dress shirt tier. For roughly 7 years, Ludlow shirts used Albini and Thomas Mason Italian fabrics. That era ended through the 2020 bankruptcy. A J.Crew Oxford retails at $98 in 2026. A Brooks Brothers non-iron sits at $140 and uses formaldehyde resin whole cotton treatment to deliver the non-iron finish. The resin chemistry, the DMDHEU family of compounds, bonds to the cotton fibers and breaks down across 15 to 20 wash cycles. After that, the shirt wrinkles like any untreated cotton at the price of the cotton it was originally. A polo Ralph Lauren Oxford mainline runs $125 and frequently uses cotton elastane on the comparable SKUs. The Kirkland Oxford at $25 is straight cotton on most production runs. No resin treatment, no elastane. The collar is fused on the basic line. The buttons are plastic. That is what $25 buys. What it does not compromise is the fiber tier or the weave category. Same fabric family, same button-down silhouette, 1/4 to 1/5 the price. A man who owns one Brooks Brothers non-iron at $140 could own 5 Kirkland Oxfords at the same total spend. 5 shirts rotated through the week put less wear cycles on any single shirt. The closet outlasts the boutique purchase by years. 2-ply yarn versus single-ply is the spec that separates Oxford construction tiers. 2 strands of cotton twisted together produce a stronger, smoother, denser yarn. 2-ply does not pill. Single-ply pills within wash cycles. The Italian mills, Albini, Thomas Mason, Canclini, supply 2-ply long staple cotton to premium dress shirt brands. The fabric prices set by those mills anchor the boutique retail pricing. The Kirkland Oxford uses a simpler cotton tier on the entry SKUs. The construction differential is real. The cost differential is wider than the construction differential. The boutique markup is on the patch. The shirt is on the body. Lambswool is the most consistent fiber category in the menswear knit aisle. The variation across price tiers is mostly in the knitting and the finishing rather than the wool itself. That is the insider context the mall does not mention. Lambswool is the first shearing from a sheep under 7 months of age. The fibers are the softest the animal will ever produce. The fineness is fixed by the biology, not by the boutique. Lambswool typically measures between 20 and 23 microns in fineness, depending on the breed. The British breeds, Cheviot, Shetland, Border Leicester, produce slightly coarser fiber. The Merino lamb crosses produce the finest commercial lambswool. The Kirkland sourcing covers comparable territory to what mall brands publish on the same fiber category. A Kirkland signature lambswool crewneck retails at approximately $25 at Costco in 2026. 100% lambswool on the label. Two-ply construction on the higher SKUs. Standard gauge knit. The fiber input matches what premium brands publish on lambswool sweaters at 5 to 8 times the cost. A Brooks Brothers lambswool retails at $200 in 2026. A Banana Republic lambswool sits at $150. A Polo Ralph Lauren lambswool runs $180 or more, depending on the line. All 4 sweaters use lambswool from comparable sheep operations. The Kirkland version is finished with less hand detail at the cuff and hem. The boutique versions have more careful seaming. The fundamental fiber is the same animal at the same age. A man who has owned both and washed both knows the hand converges after the first season. Lambswool also pills less than cashmere over time. The staple length and the natural lanolin retention of young sheep fiber hold the surface intact through washing. The Kirkland lambswool is built for the same wear curve the boutique version is. $25 worn 5 winters across 80 days equals 6 cents per wear. $200 worn the same 5 winters across the same 80 days equals 50 cents per wear. The Woolmark certification is the standard mark for 100% virgin wool products. The Kirkland lambswool carries the certification on the qualifying SKUs. Major lambswool sourcing concentrates in New Zealand, Australia, the United Kingdom, and South Africa. The fiber commodity market is transparent. Mill records publish openly. Merino lambs produce the finest commercial lambswool. Cheviot lambs from the Scottish borders produce a slightly coarser, more durable fiber. Border Leicester lambs from England produce mid-range fineness. The Kirkland sourcing typically pulls from Merino cross lamb operations on the higher SKUs. The premium brand sourcing pulls from comparable Merino cross operations on most production runs. The fiber category matches. The hand on the body matches after the first wash. The premium brand markup is paying for the cuff finish. The fiber is paying for itself. The math at the cash register is the part the mall does not run for the customer. What does $20 buy in 5-pocket pants in 2026? At Costco, the Kirkland Signature 5-pocket sits at approximately $20 on most production runs. Cotton or cotton stretch blend depending on the SKU. Standard 5-pocket configuration. Functional construction at the seat, the rivets, and the waistband. The 5-pocket pant is a Levi Strauss innovation. The 1873 patent that created the riveted blue jean defined the configuration that has carried across every 5-pocket pant since. 2 front pockets, 2 back pockets. 1 small coin pocket riveted into the right front. The architecture has not changed in 150 years. The fabric category has. A Banana Republic chino retails at $98 to $100 in 2026. A J.Crew chino sits at $98. A Polo Ralph Lauren khaki runs $128 on the mainline. The Banana Republic chino at $100 is cotton elastane on most current SKUs. The J.Crew chino is cotton elastane on the standard fit. The Polo khaki is cotton on the better lines with elastane on the slim fits. The Kirkland 5-pocket at $20 uses the same fabric family on the comparable runs. The construction differences are real but not proportional to the price multiple. The Kirkland pant uses simpler stitching at the back pocket reinforcement. The boutique pant uses more careful bar tacks. The fundamental garment category overlaps. Bar tack stitching is the small, intense reinforcement at the stress points, pocket openings, fly base, belt loops. The bar tack matters at the wear curve. The difference between simpler and more careful bar tacks shows up at year 4 or 5 of regular wear, not at year 1. The fabric, the cut, and the basic construction match the same wear curve as the boutique chino. Cost per wear math runs the same way it ran for the cashmere and the cotton. $20 worn through 150 wear cycles equals 13 cents per wear. $100 worn through the same 150 cycles equals 67 cents per wear. Sanforized cotton is the standard process for modern 5-pocket pants. The cotton is pre-shrunk under controlled steam and tension to lock the dimensions before cut and sew. Sanforization is the reason a modern pant fits the same waist and inseam through the wash cycle. The Kirkland 5-pocket is sanforized on most current SKUs. The boutique chino is sanforized on most current SKUs. The process is identical. The cost of sanforization is identical. The price spread between the two is not built on the process. The fabric does not know which boutique sold the garment. Mature buyers cycling through 5-pocket pants by the dozen have run this math at the Warehouse Club checkout for a decade. The Wisconsin rancher in the comments has been writing the same paragraph in different words across multiple Goldmines breakdowns. Costco is not a magic shelf. Some Kirkland items are commodity construction at commodity prices. The Kirkland fashion cut jeans run basic construction at commodity tier. The fit issues are real on the slimmer cuts. The fabric does not match a selvage category. The Kirkland casual sneakers sit in commodity footwear. They are not premium leather, and they are not built for resoling. Kirkland accessories that are not Pima cotton or pure wool tend to use synthetic blends without the fiber tier advantage that defines the 5 items above. Those are not the gold mines. The gold mines are the items where Kirkland buys at the fiber category level. Long staple cotton, Inner Mongolia cashmere, first shearing lambswool, basic functional 5-pocket cotton. The Kirkland model skips the boutique infrastructure between the fiber and the shelf. The other items are just Warehouse Club basics at Warehouse Club prices. The 5 above are the ones to walk in for. 5 Costco items publishing premium specs at 1/10 the mall price. The fiber list is the only honest document in the closet. You are the man who reads the fiber list, not the boutique. If you missed our breakdown on men's clothing gold mines covering brands almost nobody talks about, it's linked below at 655,000 views. And our video on men's clothing brands robbing buyers blind covers the same pattern from the villain side at 370,000 views. Subscribe. This channel follows the cotton, not the logo.